Alright. Hopefully that'll start up soon. Alright. Hopefully that'll start up. I hope I just didn't cough in somebody's ear. Be bad. We need... delete these Union Pacific. We're going to delete these Union Pacific engines because... or Southern Pacific. Because Southern Pacific is in South California, and that is not what we're modeling. So... So those were our yard trains, or short line trains, so we need to replace those. And since we are a BNSF and CSX, we are going to go with an old Burlington Northern GP38-2. It's yard one. And I got this from Jointed Rail. It's one of their freebies, or one of their freeware engines, so cuckoo Pichu. Also have a BNC-37. Now, as a kid, I actually rode on a C-37 in Wyoming because my grandfather was a track inspector for Burlington Northern. So I've actually been on one of these before. So I've always kind of had a soft spot. We also need a... So that's one thing about this that sucks, is like you have to know the exact name of an object in order to to find it. So if not, you're just gonna have to go through all of these. It's a real pain in the ass. There we go, track inputs. So I need to actually write this down. I actually have a master list where I'm writing stuff down, so I don't. These are our three major industries that we have: coal, intermodal, auto track, and we're going to have an oil refinery. Like, I don't know how, because there's not one in our consist, so that might be Maddie. That's the daughter coming home. So those are the concepts that we're building there, but the main, can she be any louder coming inside of here? I don't know if you guys can hear me or not because the microphone's so far away from my face. Alright, so the main cars for each of these industries are actually going to be at the industries. So, like coal, if we come over here, because I've been working on the consist since last video, or not the consist, but the layout since the last video. These are all the coal trains, or coal cars, that are going to get filled by the two coal mines. So I ran this in kind of like a practice session not too long ago. When I ran it, these fill up really quick, and there's still coal left over. And if you bring a fresh load of diesel in and offload the diesel, like say you bring a train from the yard, and all these cars are full of diesel over here, and you offload the diesel, or most of the diesel. You can't offload all those diesel cars at once. Like, you're going to have stuff left over. So once you... I'll be right back, guys. Hold on a second. Alright, I'm back. Sorta, maybe. Alright, so anyway. So it takes a lot of coal trains to empty out all this coal. So we finished that, or we've worked on that a little bit. And then I came over here and worked on the lumber yard a little bit. So when you look at the lumber yard, it does work. It works. So and it works over here. So when you pick up your lumber from over here, it's a short train ride over here, and you drop off your logs. It'll offload, and then it unloads lumber. And then we're going to have another industry maybe over here. So I think this is actually going to be the switch yard or the for the inbound. I'll put a yard here, but it's going to be for the rail cars for the inbound. What is this? The west end? The west end of the table. So this is going to be where all the BNSF cars come in. All right, so that's going to be that yard. And I try to make it long because I'm going to have continuously running trains and different industries and stuff like that. And it loops around. It's a very long track. We're going to work today on some of the landscape over here. It goes around this long sweeping curve. And then this might, I don't think I'm ready yet for this end. I need another yard, which I might put here for all the CSX trains coming in. So we got one on for BNSF, we got one for CSX. So an interchange is what you use, or what the railroads use to go from railroad to railroad. So the railroad belongs, like all of BNSF tracks belong to BNSF. All the CSX tracks belong to CSX. And so they typically don't run trains on other companies' tracks. They do. They'll share power, they'll work on something. So you do see, different engines on different trains, but that's that. So that'll probably be the other yard over there on the for the east end for CSX. Now we come over here, I've kind of worked on the power plant. The power plant is pretty much done. I had to change a lot about the layout at this point because I had it didn't really, it made sense when I was doing it because I didn't have, the track just ended right here. Like this, you can see where the edge of the board was here. And the track just, like I said, basically it just ended. So what I ended up doing was, in one of my practice runs, I ran a coal train over here and tried to unload it. And this is where the coal unloads, like right here. It unloads here, and then it basically, I got my trains stuck. So the way I had it set up wasn't really going to work out well. So I actually looked at a prototype layout, or a prototype train, like we have in my hometown, over on the western side of my city. We have a coal plant, and the coal plant runs trains and coal, and so I looked at Google Earth and how they laid that out. So this is roughly kind of what it looks like. So the train brings in the coal from the two coal plants, and then what it's going to do is it's probably going to decouple a loaded, it might decouple here, and then the main engines will run over to here to a side track, and then you gotta love it when people finally decide to come down here and start yelling after being gone for hours at a time. So anyway, the yard engine will come out and pick up one of the loaded cars, and then it's going to pull it around, and then it's going to offload that. And then what it might also do is, I'm going to mute my microphone real quick. I'll be back in a few minutes, boys and girls. Okay, I'm back. They're still yelling at each other, but I think we'll manage. Already lost concentration on what I was trying to do. Alright, let's see. I was working on something yesterday. And I think we need to add more wheat fields over here. I'm not even sure what I want to do today. I'm going to design something. I think we need a road to go over to here, like a regular car driving road. A road. There we go. Okay, let's see. Ah, yeah, that's not working. Let's do this. Well, that didn't work either. Move. Well, that just looks stupid. If we do that. There we go. I do think that the roads in the game are unusually large. So, the track is supposed to be 4 feet 8 inches from rail to rail. That's the standard gauge that the United States uses. Now, an automobile is just slightly smaller than the ties, because the train is rarely bigger than the ties. And the ties are, I think, I forgot what the footage was. But anyway, then you look at the road, which is next to it, and a car is supposed to fit here and here. So let's see, let's put a couple of cars on the road. Like that one. That's an ugly car. And we'll do car, whatever this one is. Okay. Oh, Jeep. Yeah, so he's going to be going the opposite direction. Maybe. Come on. There we go. And we'll move it. Okay. And we'll rotate that a little bit more. Alright, so unusually large road. I think the roads are just a little bit too big. Call me crazy. And they pretty much dwarf the rail line. I don't know what this is. This just kind of showed up. Maybe if you leave a track long enough and then delete it, it leaves like the rails or the ties there. So, okay. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. There's a lot of crookedness. I have not yet mastered straight lines, and I have not mastered straight lines just yet. So like this one right here, I wanted this to be straight, but if I straighten it, actually I don't even know if I can straighten it. Let's try. We'll try to straighten it just for you. For those who are watching on YouTube, I'm streaming this, and what you are hearing me talk to are the people that are watching the stream. Person watching the stream. I'll say that. So we adjust this down. Adjust that down slightly. Yeah, see, that still doesn't look good. Okay. Now we can go hit the straight button. The problem is, if I make this any more straight over here, it's going to mess up the turn into the coal mine, which is here. Because there's only certain angles that you can do, or a certain amount of turn that you can have in a rail line. I'm willing to bet that's going to cause a derail right there. I had a derail yesterday, or when I was testing the track, but I think it worked out. Let's see if the guy cuts down the tree. Is he cutting down the tree? No, he's not cutting down the tree yet. So I figured out that if when you're playing and you're actually on the when you're actually using the layout, this guy that's you can barely see in the tree, he actually cuts down the tree. Like you hear the chainsaw and the like tree falls over, and then he like cuts it up. It's I don't know. It's kind of cool, I guess. Maybe I don't know. But that's like the only tree here. So when I go over here to items and I click on tree, it gives you like 100 different trees, and I'm gonna have to go through all of these to find that one. So it's not an acacia, it's not a cedar. I don't know. I mean that could be a cedar. No, that's not a cedar. Let's try this one. No. Let's try this one. No. Let's try this one. No. Okay. Beech. It's not a beech tree. It's not boxwood. It's not holly. An apple tree. With actually apples. I could put that in an aspen, maybe? Nope. It's not a birch. A boa maple. Nope. Unfortunately, I spend a lot of time doing this, trying to find what tree best suits this one. Well, I mean, not just trees, but like other things. Colorado blue spruce. Definitely not. Per the Google. The googly machine? Well, see, I can't have him cutting down the only tree in the clearing, so I gotta put like multiple trees around it. I just can't decide. A holly tree? No. It's definitely not an oak. It's not a maple. It's not a donkey puzzle. This tree is called donkey puzzle. Huh. Monkey puzzle, sorry. I said donkey puzzle. What the fuck's wrong with me? Sourwood, sour maple, sycamore. Not a sycamore. What does that look like? Yeah, it's an ugly tree anyway. I guess we're just gonna have to pick one. To the closest match. How about we do this one? It's almost like a Christmas tree. He's like farming Christmas trees. Okay. I don't know why you would farm Christmas trees, except for Christmas. Excuse me. I'm gonna have to spruce this up too. Not spruce it up, but like fix the coal mine. We've got some trouble down at the mine. I kind of want to put more woods, like along this way. This is the exit track from the coal mine. So I want to do like a hill with some trees on it going this way. I think we could do that. Let's see. Radius, sensitivity down. Ah! Too much. Watch me be jacking this all up right now. So we're just going to do a little outline first. Oh, calm down, killer. gotta turn that sensitivity down. There we go. That's a little much. Maybe a little bit more. That's another thing I'd like to see in here is like an auto level button. Like so it automatically levels out the terrain. Because it doesn't do that. And it's annoying. Quit it! It's not what I wanted you to do, little turd. I think we need to make the radius smaller, maybe? And we have to check the track, because we can't have more than a 2% grade on the track, which looks like it's fine. Yeah, I'm still trying to get used to this. This isn't the one you gave me. This is the actual model train one that I bought. I'll show you on another stream another day about Trainz 12. So I realized why it Trainz 12 looked so different than what you see on the videos and stuff from the YouTube and stuff. So the one that you got me, or the one you gave me, is the original Trainz 2012, and they had so many patches, and it's unpatched. So what the company did was you actually had to pay for the patches for the game every year up until I think like 2015 or something like that, when they came out with Trainz New Air. So yeah, these mountains look, because these are the mountains I did yesterday, which look, I think, cool as all get out. These just look like crap. These look like, you know, a dinosaur pooped on them or something. I don't know. Wow, could see that. Ugh, there's no smoothing to it. Maybe if I make the radius bigger and then lowered the sensitivity to almost nothing, I could. It'll take a while. It'll work, but it'll take a while. And all I want to do is just balance it out. And there's no flattening tool, so I can't flatten it out. Of course, it has been mined for a while. I don't know. Ancient Indian burial grounds, yeah. We can have like a Westworld theme spot. So what we need to do now is we need to make woods. So this is how we're going to make woods. We're going to come over here, we're going to grab that wood 14, and we're just going to fill it in. And then we're going to put spruces. I don't think you can actually put animals in it. I'm going to try. We're going to try to put animals on this and see what happens. This is going to be like the largest wooded area I have so far, so we're kind of testing things out. And I got my buddy here helping me out, giving me ideas and stuff. She's big into Sims, so we don't want to distract her too much from her own gaming. But we will, because it'll be fun. And spray paint, spray paint, spray paint. That looks interesting, to say the least. That's what we'll say. We'll say interesting. Sorry I keep coughing y'all's ear. I mean, both of you, which basically Kim. Shit. Well, okay, I didn't say her last name, so I'm guessing I'm uploading this to YouTube. Alright, so we're going to grab our spruce tree here. I like the big ones. And we're just going to go crazy with the click button. And we're going to click all of our spruce trees here. Don't bring me down, spruce. Alaska cedar, excuse the fuck out of me. And they all look the same. So, I would like to see, like, and I'm sure there's a way to do it, but I would like to see where you can just, like, drag and drop, like, like a square. Like if I started a square here and I made it out to here, and it would just and drop like a node or something that would just automatically populate all the trees. So it wouldn't take so long to make woods. Now, I'll do a stream, and I might do it later on in this stream, where I actually show you what the actual woods look like in the vanilla version of the game. And whoever they had designing it spent a lot of time, if this is what he had to do, because it looks spectacular, and like I'm never going to be anywhere near that good. This is just basically something for me to learn how the game mechanics work, while at the same time maybe run some trains every now and then if I want to, which is why I made the track so long. So I can actually set a train to run, and it's going to run around the track all through here, and we're going to see what happens. So I'm still trying to think of a name for the line, and I really jacked up the freaking woods over here, because you can see it looks nothing like the other woods. But this is going to be another coal mine, and I might try to do some water like here going out this way, so we'll work on it. And here's another thing. I got random smoke, just random smoke coming out of nowhere, like right there, and now it's gone. But when you zoom out and go back in, it like moves. So I got like random geysers. Like here's another one. It's just completely freaking random, and it's already disappeared, when all the smoke is actually supposed to be over here at the coal plant. And I got my little ash pile here, which is going to lead us to another industry that we'll have a consist for, which is going to be potash. Potash is like lye that you get from ash, and it's processed, and it's used in a lot of chemicals. It's used in soap. It's used in detergents. It's used in a bunch of stuff. Uh-oh. No, never mind. We got another game. Waiting to see if we're gonna ask for somebody to lead them to victory, but that won't be until later. So potash is used for, like I said, just a bunch of detergents and stuff like that. So it uses ash from coal burn fires. So we might have a chemical plant here, which would be really cool. It's not gonna be there because I'm making this kind of like foothills for the train to drive through. But I might make it over here on this section that I haven't really decided what I'm going to do with yet. So I've been working on that. Coal plant's done. Come over here. Another industry I'm building is an intermodal transfer station. Intermodal are these containers here. These are known as, we call them containers, like the average person. It's just like, truck containers. But they're actually called intermodal containers. And we have downloaded, or I have downloaded, some special intermodal rail cars, which are here. This is what they look like. And they're double stacked, but I have some other ones too. So if we go over here to container crane, containers. There's more containers, I just don't know where they are. It's going to be really cool. So I also got a couple of new engines, like I was talking about earlier. I have a JP38, and this is I forgot, I think this is I talked about it there. Yeah, it's a C37. It's a C30 TAC 7. I've actually been on one of these. Now here's an interesting fact. C30 TAC 7s are no longer allowed to be used in the United States because they put off so much pollution. So now they're basically used in South America to haul coal. But when they go to South America, they can't afford new paint. So there are Burlington Northern engines still in Burlington Northern paint in South America right now. It's really cool because they stopped using these in about 94, 95 when Burlington Northern got bought out by BNSF. And I got some BNSF locomotives over here too. In fact, why don't we run that so I can show you how polluted, how much pollution this guy puts off. So let's go up here. Oh, we need to save changes. Save. Overwrite existing route. There we go. Overwrite new route yet? Yes. So now we're actually going to run trains. Choo-choo. Excuse me for coughing in your ears yet again. Don't start running. It's horrible, especially if you smoke. Okay. So I don't know if you guys can hear that or not. We're going to turn up the volume on it slightly. Alright, so I have nobody in here, so I need to get a driver. Let's use Andrew. Andrew's not doing anything. And he looks like his name should be Chad, but so we need to put him into move to train into here. So now he's in here, we need to get everything started. That is really quiet. Why is that so quiet? Let me check my... Yeah. Is it me? Yeah, my volume's up all the way. That sounds unusually quiet. Sounds... Oh, yeah, that's because it is unusually quiet. There we go. That's a little bit better. And of course we're in the yard, so we need to have our bell on. And suddenly it gets really loud. Thank you, Windows, for being so stupid. There we go. Make sure the track is switched to what it needs to. And look how much pollution it puts out. just keep stopping. Watch, it's gonna stop again. Stopping on things that don't even need to be stopped. So some of the parts of the game are counterintuitive, but this is not the full game. This is just the model railroad portion of Trainz. So we're actually going to go around here and then hook up the track over there. I forgot I did that. Wait a second, my crossover did. Oh man. I messed up. I already noticed something I need to do. When we go back to editing, I need to make a crossover here. Because I just made this trip a lot longer than what it needed to be. Oops. So we're just going to go all the way up here, back, hook up there, there. So I would use the BNSF set of trains I have over here, the Burlington Northern Santa Fe trains. But I don't know. I like my C30. This sounds awesome. Like these don't sound awesome. They sound modern. You know, I like the raw diesel sound. Getting some sport. Yeah, I mean, you know, if that's what you like doing on the computer, rock it out, you know. Rocky McRockerton. We want this track right here, which is the middle track, so let's set that up right now. Okay. Just a second. No, shit, I'm speeding. There, I'm speeding. But yeah, like Sims 4, I mean, since you like it so much, I mean, by all means, knock it out, man. You know, it took you how long to get that computer up and running, so by all means, go for it. Just don't become addicted to, you know, video games like I am. I know you said you had somebody that was going to build it for you. I didn't know. Yeah, probably not. Probably not. The next signal is red. No, it's not. It's green. I'm looking right at it. Now we're going to cheat a little bit because I actually don't have anything that produces diesel, so I can't really load diesel. Yeah, so I used to play this game called Age of Rifles, and I started playing that when I was like 12. But I mean, you know, whatever. It's all gravy. So something else I can do is I'm going to tell this guy to move this train over to the diesel, and I'm going to take this guy and move the intermodal train over to the intermodal place. And at some point I'm going to make a Ford truck plane so I can use my auto cars. Yeah, it was. Age Rifles was a computer game. No, I said stop. Jeez. Okay, so now we need to load this. So we're going to go to auto load. Diesel. Instant load. So this is saying it's loaded. Now you know what I did? I forgot to say show quantity overlays. There we go. So we have a full tank or full train of diesel fuel that needs to go to the coal mine. So Andrew. Okay, so Andrew, I'm going to tell him to navigate to coal mine basic 1 diesel unload bay. So there he goes. He's off. So now we need a driver to go to this consist. Where do I want to use the other one? For an intermodal train. Let's use... These guys are ready. So I'm sure you don't want to watch me just run trains all day. I am really sorry if I keep coughing in your ear. Oh, we got number 3. Let's see who else just joined our party. Question. Amaki. Yay! Hadn't seen him in a while. What's going on, Amaki? I think the last time you watched one of my Twitches, can't remember what I was doing. Maybe I was playing Eve. I don't know. But what is going on with you today? Really? Air compressors? That's what we want to do right now? Not too bad, man. It's been a long time since I've seen you watching one of my Twitch channels. I'm very happy to see you, man. You know what? No, it wasn't. You know what I was doing? I think I was not doing a whole lot. It's been a while. Yeah, it has been a while. I think, I can't remember if I was playing Eve or if I was playing, the sailing ship game. The, naval action. Can't really remember. My memory's kind of crap anyway. But, no, not much going on, man. Just, surviving and striving. Living the dream. Just checking out some trains here. Some model trains. Yeah, probably naval action. You know, I haven't played in a while. I know they got a couple of new patches out, but I don't know. I just, you know, I couldn't find a clan that had a good ship line. And what that is where everybody in the clan works together to produce ships. Like, you know, because there's only a certain types of resources that you can use. So I couldn't really find the clan I was part of kind of fell apart, and we had a really good, what we call a ship line. So, yeah, everybody would pull their resources and build ships, but it just kind of fell apart. So then after that, I was having to build my own ships, and I like PvP, so they would get destroyed all the time, and it was just, I just got tired of it. So I'll probably go back and probably play it again. You know, they're going to have to do some other changes. I'd really like to get into the Naval Action Legends, which is kind of like the arcade version of the game, where, like, everything's a port battle. I think that would be a lot of fun. But from what I heard, it's kind of buggy right now, so I don't know. Hopefully they get that sorted out. But that's done by the same company that did Civil War General, or Ultimate General, Civil War. So, they kind of focused on that, and it was a good game. I actually got that game and played it a little bit. So, once I played that game a little bit, I got addicted to it, but I was able to go through... Always slam the fucking doors. Yeah, do yourself a favor, Maki, never get married. Anyway, I got sidetracked. But it you know, it just, I don't know. I'll have to get back to it. I know, right? She can come in here and start going to it, but it's alright, she'll be the ex-wife, so. Lordy, I can't wait. Anyway, I'm not bringing my personal drama into it. Anyway, something else I want to do, Amaki, is, oh, who else joined us? Man, everybody's watching today. I think the most I've ever had on any one of my Twitches is like 7. Of course, you know, the stuff that I watch, or the stuff that I do is not as fun. Right now, I'm running Trainz, so... And Amaki, just to catch you up what I'm doing here, this is so there's a train simulator called Trainz: A New Era, and one of the things they do in that game is you could build a model train. So instead of running like long trains over long distances, you can build a model train and just run it around. So what I'm doing is I'm designing my own model train to run around, and the industries and stuff and all the rail cars are actually interactive. So I'm taking this container train, also known as an intermodal, over to my intermodal facility. It's way off over here in the distance, and we're going to see if it works. At the same time, I got another train over here that's running diesel fuel over to my coal mine. So that's kind of what we're doing today. And so you can see I've got a lot of space I got to fill up. A lot of space, you know. And I'm gonna try to do towns. One thing that I think Kale Rigg has kind of pointed out is I'm not really good at scenery. So it's one of the things I'm going to work on. And I hope you enjoy games like this. You know, let me know. Let me know if you want me to play more naval action. I'll switch over to naval action. It's all right. But yeah, it's a pretty neat game. I got it on sale. It was like $30, and you don't have to design your own model railroad. You can actually go in and run the ones that they have. It's pretty cool. Check it out. It's good stuff. Some of the stuff I have is actually downloaded, like these engines are downloaded, but they're free. So you're not going to spend, like a naval, well, you don't really spend a whole lot of money in naval action unless you do like multiple accounts. Okay, K. I'll just call you K. So you don't have to spend a whole lot of money to enjoy this game. You can just get the vanilla version and still be able to do all of these things, and it's a lot of fun. Now, it's like laying down track and designing stuff like this. It's kind of a steep learning curve. And what I mean by that is there's no tutorial to show you how to use the things and when you're building something like this. So you kind of have to watch YouTube videos, read the Googly machine, and whatnot. Again, I'm sorry if I keep sniffling and coughing in everybody's ear. It's rude. I'm sorry. I hate running, but I have to, so this is how it goes. We're going to kick up our speed a little bit here. We're going to be driving until the cows come home. So you can see this has got a lot less range than that C30 does. In fact, let's go check on that. Actually, no, I have to remove the switches, or we're going to drive off the basic dirt. Go over here. Man, that's already, the switch is already switched. Okay. We need to go all the way over here. So there we go, it's going to run over here. This is something I got to work on. I'm going to make this like concrete here. And then put some buildings around it and stuff like that. So let's go check on Andrew. Andrew's already offloaded some diesel. Look at him. Go Andrew. So I'm going to show you how to offload diesel. Go to notch 1. This is my coal plant. I think last time I actually divided the train in half. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So we're going to go with 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Emergency stop. Yeah, don't ever do that on a real train. Like, it'll blow up and everybody dies. And that's bad. So, it's actually already unloading the diesel for me, so I can't really do anything else with the train until it's finished unloading. Amaki is actually one of my first Twitch subscribers that I had. So I got a special place in my heart for him. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There we go. Okay, so we need to uncouple. You know what? Yeah, we'll uncouple right there. There we go. And you were, believe it or not, you actually were one of my first subscribers. You will always have a place in Colonel Horatio's heart. Off of Utah. So this is full of diesel, and it's also full of coal. So now we have to load our coal train. But I need to go check on my other train to make sure it's not blowed up. So it's up to 26. A little fast for Intermodal. We're going to have to slow down a little bit coming up to this turn. $799 hours logged in the Sims. Those are rookie numbers. You're gonna have to bump those numbers up. Let me load up my Steam. I haven't loaded Steam in a while, so it's gonna have to update. I'm just gonna get some of my band numbers. So I think on EVE Online, I would have to look at it, but I think I've played it for like maybe 25,000 hours or something like that. 2,500 hours, something like that. It's some ungodly number. Like, you look at it and you're like, Jesus, why are you watching it that much, or playing it that much? Well, because I can. I'm an adult. I can do what I want. So, you already got it downloaded? Are you playing right now? Because I would totally subscribe to you. So all I can do right now is add you as a friend. Not my friend. And we will get back to loading the coal train here in a minute. Once my intermodal decides to speed up a little bit. I think I'm going to put him on the side track because he's actually full, and I don't think I've actually set this up to offload the containers yet. So I need to work on that. Maybe that's something I'll do a little bit later. Holy shit, I didn't notice what time it was. It's not like I got anything tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be nice. It's going to be 72 degrees outside, sunny. So I might do some more yard work. And then go for a run in the afternoon again. Running a lot. Stay fit. Or trying not to be fat. So Maki, man, are you still playing naval action, or what else are you doing? Nothing new. I think this is the first time I've run a train up to the intermodal yard. So with that being done, I guess I'm kind of checking out for defects, seeing if it derails or, you know, some weird monster comes out of the whatever the hell I built over here and eats the train. I did. Oh. Ratio, you idiot. Okay, so this is... I'm gonna have to put a message somewhere to tell me don't go to the outside tracks. The center track is the one that does not load or unload the cars, so... Oops. I might do something here to make it unload the cars, because these two just load. I'm sorry I'm coughing, if you guys just hear that, it's so annoying. I haven't even felt sick or anything. Go back here and look at the last car. So slow it down a little bit. So it's not too bad. The train fits like it's supposed to in the yard. So we'll go ahead and stop there. Decouple. And we'll just let it sit here. So let's go work the coal mine a little bit. So we have our diesel fuel. The thing is he is actually... Oh, that messed up, didn't it? So we need to run this little guy all the way over here to pick these up. But he can't because they're actually in the way. Shit. Well, you know what? We're just going to have to empty this train out, so. Make sure all my tracks are lined up correctly. And we're going to start pushing these through and loading them. So I can empty these. Pull them through a little bit more. You know what? I just figured something out. I just made a genius discovery of something. He is going to pull these over here. While this guy works the yard. Because this is going to take him a while to load all these coal cars. And then while he's loading the coal cars, this guy's going to load the diesel on this side so that they can continue running the coal mine. Yay me for figuring that out all by myself. You know what, let's go with this one first. So this may or may not actually show the cars loading. I think I got the wrong type of car for that. But the car that does that, that actually shows the animation of the coal going into the hopper, is... I haven't added it to the layout yet, so we'll see what happens. Whoa, stop. Okay. So now he's going to back up extremely slow. Let's make sure this track is set for him. That's good. So he's actually going to pull all the way forward while he's pushing back. So it's going to take him a minute to get there. You can see him moving back. And as this car moves underneath the plant, it's going to load the coal car. So it's very important to know where the last car in the line is. Now the thing is, we're not going to empty all the diesel all at once. It's not going to use that much diesel. So we're actually going to use, or leave the diesels, or leave the diesel cars here, the tanker cars here with the diesel in them, so it can offload while they're mining for coal. And then we're going to take the coal cars over to the coal plant. Yes, I get it, thank you. So let's see how we're doing here. Is it loaded? Is it loading? It is. As it passes the middle, you'll see it start to load here in just a second. It's going very slow. We need to bump that up just a little bit. There we go. Cool. Haha. So it's going to do that. It's going to do that on every single one of the coal train, on the coal train. Meanwhile, the diesel, or the C30, is backing up our diesel tanker cars. And some of the other industries I've added is I have some grain silos and wheat fields over here, so these are also interactive. That'll actually load the grain cars as you back through them, just like these do. I've got my lumber yard. I'm going to be adding some more industries here and there. I need to, like I said, I've got 4 main industries that I'm working on. Coal, train cars, or train cars, auto racks. So there'll be a car a car factory. I got my Intermodal, which you saw over there. And then I also have, I'm going to be building a steel mill. And that's going to be a lot of fun, so. Or maybe you guys can give me some ideas, man. What kind of industry would you like to see? And I'll try to build it. You know, it gives me kind of a challenge. Oh crap! I need to stop him. He's going too fast. Stop. There we go. And he's going to offload because this coal plant's actually almost out of diesel. Until now. Now he's not out of diesel. So. So we need to unhook him. Decouple. Come on. Decouple. You can do it. There we go. So he's decoupled. And we're just going to leave those there. And then as they need more diesel fuel, he's stopped. I did not tell you to stop. There you go. We actually just slightly. He's going to back through and get those diesel cars and pull through so they can get out of the way and continue loading our coal. Now, I might have a problem coming up because we are nowhere near being close to finish to loading all the coal cars. So once all the coal cars are finished, we're going to have to drag all the coal cars over the power plant, which is way over there. Now the issue I'm going to have is it's going to be really, really heavy because usually on a train like this you would have multiple engines, and I only brought one engine or one locomotive, so we're going to see what happens. And I've run out of space, so we're going to slow him down just a little bit. Back him up as far as we can. And once we're done loading this, once we're done loading all the coal cars, it's actually really easy to put the train together. Stop. He's not going fast enough, so we're going to speed him up slightly. And we basically have to wait for him to pull these diesel cars out of the way. And you can see, as we do that, he is slowly filling this, slowly refilling the coal with all the diesel fuel, or utilizing all the diesel fuel we just dropped off, so. Hey, we've got another viewer. Who do we got? Who is watching? Nobody. I'm seeing shit right now, so. That's okay. Oh well. Don't mind it at all. Don't tease me like that. Slow it down. And stop. Oh, coupled in. Wow. I think I stopped before I was coupled, but apparently I wasn't, so. Yay me for being smarter than I thought I was. I guess I can grab my old GP38 over there. Well, I'll just continue working the coal mine. I don't know. Whatever you guys want. I don't know. It's almost bedtime for me. I gotta get a shower first. I like how he just drives through the coal. He's like, I'll do what I want. I'm in a big truck. Scooby-Doo-Doo. This guy over here stopped working because their coal is full, and I have not emptied it yet. because I'm horrible at managing industry. Everybody's full of diesel, so I'm just gonna pull him out of the way. You're right. You're right. I should stay up late and play, but I'm not gonna play this all night because it does get kind of mundane. You know, in order for me to test how well my layout is, I have to run trains on it. And the way I'm designing it is for it to take a long time. So guess what? It's going to take a long time to run the trains. So, there you go. Gaming. That's what I get for trying to design my own time-wasting game. I can practice straight lines. Yeah, I could. Nobody wants to watch that. Nobody wants to watch epic failure. Velvet toot. I think Dave was streaming earlier. Him and Star Citizen. He's like addicted to that game. Like I tried to get into it, but once you played Eve, like every other spaceship game, sucks. So. And okay. So that's the first part of the coal train done. His name is Reliant Saber. He is. Not streaming right now. I think he actually works tonight, so he's actually at work. I saw him earlier today. But you should totally set up a Twitch account and start streaming you playing Sims. I would watch that. Oh, I have a list. I didn't know I had a list. You know what I could do? You know what? I just thought about this. And this is going to make a lot of sense once I start doing it. I can make the other locomotive start working coal too. Because coal is important. Makes America go. Yeah, it happens. Let's kick an email to the tech guys. Maybe they can fix it for you.
Hurry up, train. God damn it, kitty.
I might have to do a stream all in Cartman's voice. Switch.
Yeah, kitty, that's my train.
So he's going to pull this train here, stop, and he's going to switch tracks and fill these cars. Eventually. Once I stop speeding in the yard. Because I think this yard actually needs to be about 5 miles an hour. But I was in a hurry to see how smart I was. Because I needed that reinsurance. Because science. Spending all the monies. Mine's free. Yeah, I'm too cheap to get the Prime. That I don't really Twitch enough to warrant it. Just ask Maki. I don't really Twitch that much. I probably should. I should probably Twitch more. Like I need to get like the whole camera and everything, so everybody can watch me play video games, because that seems to be the thing right now. Yeah, break on. assist is off, and we are backing up. So we're going to make him go slow. We're going to do all the trains slow so I can multitask these. So we need to uncouple him. We're going to pull him forward. So I feel like I spend more time loading trains than I do actually driving them on the main line. I kind of don't like that. Switch. That switch. That's not the switch. Is that the switch or not? Why do I have two switches here? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Let's figure this out. Why do I have... Oh, okay, that's why. Alright, so this switch is for these two lines, this switch is for these two lines, this switch is for those two lines. Uh-oh, fleet's up. Oop, straight out. Interceptors. No. I don't like interceptors. That's a separate game, that's Eve. Let's go 2 miles an hour. Let's slow that shit down. No, I said slow down, not go faster. Argue with an inanimate object. Like that. This guy's going too fast too, so he needs to slow down.
I said slow down, Train.
So he's actually... This guy's going to run out of coal. He's not going to have enough coal to load the full train. So we're going to have to figure that out. We might have to wait for him to replenish his coal, which I think takes like 30 minutes, maybe, to do. So the train's full of coal. This train's full of coal. That should be enough. We'll put these two constants together. Run them over to the power plant, offload, and then we will go take a shower and go to bed. I mean, I'm not going to stream that, but that's what I'm going to do. He's full. He has no more coal to give. Oh, I know how we're gonna fix this. I know what we're gonna do. I'm gonna stop that train. This train's going to back up, or continue backing up. So I'm going to hit that switch. There we go. Switch to that one. And I think you're about to understand what we're doing. I know, right? Life is a disappointment, man. Get used to it. So I'm about to be super smart. So you can see it didn't load this rail car all the way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to back this train up, unhook, uncouple right here with this laying on this track. And then this is going to pull back forward and wait for this to fill up before it fills up again. This guy's going to back up, hook up to those cars, and then he's going to pull forward. He sure is. And then once he gets to a point over here. He's going to stop. This guy, the C30, is going to stop. He's going to back up. He's going to hook this up. So we'll have a full train of full, or mostly full, coal cars. Except for these two little retards here who decided to have a little bit of coal. But we'll have enough coal to run over to the power plant, and then it's gonna. The power plant will, when we drop the coal off, will actually tell us how long it's gonna run on the amount of coal that we dropped off. It's gonna be amazing. We're gonna make coal plants great again. I like how this building, how I built it to where it just like floats. It's just floating. I think I can actually fix that when we go back with the editor. At some point, I'll probably just make like a coal mound underneath it. I think that's supposed to simulate them going into the side of the hill and down into the ground and getting the coal and coming back. I think that's what it's supposed to do. So now we decouple, and we pull forward. Whoa, that's too much. And I didn't pull far enough. We're gonna have to cheat a little bit. Yeah, I gotta cheat. Sorry, cheating. I have to move the train. Oh, too far. A little bit. There we go. I have to do that because I would have to back this all the way back up and push the train back out. And I still don't get that. Making coal gate again. What's the P stand for? Ah! Color changed. Why'd your color change? Cheaters never win. Yeah, they do. They win all the time. Because they cheat. It works. It's not really cheating. It's not like I'm not competing against anybody but myself and running my trains. So, making coal plants great again. You're right. I did say that. See, I don't even remember what I say half the time. Glad you're here to tell me. You're here to tell me these things. Sure I am. Why? To get my attention. Is that why you did it? Is that why you changed your color? Excuse me while I hack up a line again. Okay, I'm back. It didn't take long. I only have like 1 more left. Slow down there, Chuck. So, in the vanilla game, if you back up and you connect to the rail cars too hard, it actually damages them. So we have half our train loaded now. Let's see if I got enough power to pull this. So we're at notch 1. Let's kick it up to notch 2. That's horsepower right there. You can actually go inside. Let's go inside the cab and see what it's like. So I have my channel up on my separate screen, and there's a delay between what I'm actually doing and what shows up on the screen. Oh, that's cool. I never did that before. I never zoomed in inside the cab. Let's see, 1993. let's look at our new hazmat. So 1993 means Class 3 flammable liquid, final permanent adhesive, which is not what I'm calling. Let's go for receivers. I need to go back and chase me before I crash. So gasoline is going to be 1201, 1202, 1203, and 1204. It's not gasoline. Hi. I remember I Love You, 96. He was being all creepy, telling me to talk the other day. I let him talk because I don't know. Why didn't I talk? I don't remember. I had a good reason, because I usually talk to my listeners. What are you doing, love? What are you doing today? I Love You, 96. What are you up to? What kind of trouble things are you getting into today? Who knows? You do? Remember Truth? Yeah. I never played 2004. I'm actually new to the Trainz experience. And I had, like, for reals model trains, like, growing up. So that's what actually kind of drove me to this game, because apparently all my HO scale stuff is, like, really old, and, like, it'll still work, but I guess everybody goes to, like, what's called DCC now. So I'm going to have to replace everything. Yeah, 2010, that's a good one. I think as far back as I've actually played yet is Trainz 12. And what I want to do is what I probably should have done to begin with, is get Trainz a new era, which is like the latest and the greatest. Make sure I'm not going to derail here. So 2010. Are you playing? Do you still play? Do you still play Trainz? I don't know. Is that something I should know about? Subpart production. Oh, okay. Okay, I see. And I have derailed because I wasn't paying attention. Shit. I still had the track switched over to that. Oh, man. So that's what happens when you don't pay attention. You derail. Because you're looking at subpar production, which is shit. Oh. So fuck me running backwards. Ah, man. I just totally fucking fail-boated. Let's think about this for a minute. How are we going to fix this? Oh, the game does it automatically. How about that? But that leaves us with a problem. We still have to run coal to the plant. So we are going to call for reinforcements from our yard. What do I have available? You know what? I know what I can do. I think CSX is going to come and help us. That is going to happen right now. We're going to get a consist with 2. Which ones are these? These are AC 4400s. We're talking 4,400 horsepower of American muscle from the Cassie Chase system. That's what CSX actually means, if you didn't know. But we're going to need some drivers. So let's use Andrew. He hasn't wrecked yet, so Andrew is going to move to train that one. Here we go. So you guys need to tell me something right now. Do you want to see CSX and BNSF run on the same consist?
That's a train talk for train.
Or do you want to see us all CSX run? Or we could do CSX and the Burlington Northern G38. Anybody? You know what? We're gonna do another CSX train. The reason why is because we're gonna have to run the train backwards. So whoever is, or we would have to run the train backwards if we were just using one. I don't think the actual sound kicks in until there we go. I would use Santa Fe, but they're stupid. Who's this? It's another ES44 DC. So that's not the same. That's actually got the same amount of power as this one does. It's just a different company. I am so tempted to hook that. I'm so tempted to use this GP38. Alright, Andrew, get out of the train. Oh, there's somebody already in that one. Who's in there? Who's in there? It actually doesn't say. That is... Wife and daughter yelling at each other again. That's always fun. More to the point, my wife is yelling at my daughter. So I'm going to have to go up there and save her here in a minute. Can't believe I derailed that train. That was a lot of work. That was a lot of work putting that together. Oh well. It's not done yet. It's still a work in progress. Yay. Come on. Keep it turning. There we go. I never did finish drinking my water. Alright, so here's what we do. What are you doing? There we go. So this way, if the trains are, and this is what you normally see on modern railroads is if there's only 2 locomotives working a line or a train or a consist, they're going to be back to back like this. And the reason why they do that is round tables, like you see here, are actually not used very often in normal modern railroad times. Like back in the steam days they did, but they stopped using those when we went to diesel electrics because you could run diesel electrics will run just as powerful forward as they would backwards, whereas steam wouldn't. So you always had to turn the steam cars around. So what this did is when they went to diesel electric, it eliminated the necessity for the turntable. So most of the times they'll run them back to back. So you could just run the train down. Like say if we were running this train somewhere, we'd stop on the side track, kind of like it is here. We'd uncouple, and then we'd run down here, and then back down here, and then rehook up, and then go back the opposite direction without having to actually turn around the engines. Now I need to work on this, work on something like this for the consist, or not the consist, for the layout, and hopefully we'll get that working. Excuse me for just a second, I gotta cough again. Oh, I hate running. Okay. That's a lie, I don't hate running. No! Nope, 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 nope. We want this to be the front train. So, no. So we only need 1 driver for diesel electric. So, this guy needs to get off the train. And where'd Andrew go? Was it Andrew that we were using? Yeah, Andrew. Get over here. Move to train, that train. There we go. It depolarized. So now we've repolarized it. Let's go. Excuse me. Welcome back, Kay. Put Andrew back in here. Move to train. This one. Reverse train facing. And it worked. Awesome. So now we have to figure out how to... Shit. That's what happens when you go the wrong way, people. We can still salvage this. We just have to be smart about it. Okay, so the train that I have to get is here and here. So we can back up, hook up to there, come back forward, back up again to get that train, and we can still make it. Okay, so let's just make sure our switching is correct here. Going to the left, 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 going to the right, connecting. Okay, here we go. Notch one. It's not new. I've had it for a while. It's just it's new to being used. Actually, I can have him load some cars while I drive. Excuse me. You know what? This is going to work out. This is going to work out really well. I have a feeling about this. Of course, I'm sure Custer had a feeling too. And we all saw how that ended up. Apparently I just turned off my engine, you know, when I'm rolling, so. Less than 2, and bingo. Reverse, back to the main engine. not bad. It's not a bad. It's not a bad consist. Stop. We'll work coal again later. So track number on is that one. Actually. Push this right over here. Connect that 6.4. Push this one. I got 10 minutes. Might go a little bit over. Schedule to keep. No, I don't have schedule. So anyway, yeah. I've noticed a couple things I need to do for the layout. One's being I need to fix this because that was dumb. But we'll fix that. And then I need to get a couple of back-to-back train sets, or locomotive sets. So, that's up tomorrow. I was doing something else tomorrow. I couldn't remember the schedule. I don't need to. Yeah, you're right. Schedule. So how to say it? Schedule.
Maybe stop train.
Okay, so we need to switch. There we go. Now we back up. Choo-choo. Oh, they're working hard. So how modern diesel-electric locomotives work? Who wants to know? So on a diesel truck or diesel tractor or something, the diesel engine actually directly runs the drive shaft that makes the truck or thing go. On a diesel-electric locomotive that they started using back in the 60s and that we still use today, the engines are actually run on electric motors that are generated. They're actually generated from the diesel engines. So they're actually giant motors. Now, let me show you what I'm talking about. So the majority of the locomotive is the diesel engine and the generators. After I hook up here, stop. There we go. So let me go over here to my locomotive. locomotive, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so the actual thing that drives the train is located down here in the bogies, or in between these. And they're giant electric motors that drive the train wheels forward. So the diesel engines are actually here. All this back here in the back is actually the radiator. It's got a huge radiator because it generates a lot of heat. The diesel does. And then up here is the actual generator, the power generator, and it runs down to the wires and to the motors, which actually drive the train. So how it works is the higher the RPM of the diesel engine, the more amps and volts. I mean, I think it's a constant volt, but the more amps it drives, which drives the electric motors. So that's how a diesel engine works. And why they did it like that, I'm sure there's a very good explanation, and I can try to explain it, but I would be talking out my ass. I think it has something to do with the traction. So, one of the biggest problems that locomotives have is traction. You got metal on metal, and if there's not a lot of weight, the wheels just slip. And so they do certain things, like lower the amount of torque going to the electric motor while making the electric motor stronger. Does that make sense? And so they don't spin. They'll go slow, but there'll be a lot of power behind it. And here we are at now notch 3 on a fully loaded coal train. And my two engines are struggling. The reason why they're struggling is because physics. That's right, so if you come back here, you can see we have a turn, and then we have another turn. And then we added some weight. So what happens is these turns cause friction, which makes it harder for the train to move forward. So that's why I actually made the exit part over here, because these are long, smooth tracks. It'd be easier for the loaded train to leave. Uh-oh. Okay. He's doing what I wanted him to do, so. And he's not going to make it in time, so we'll just shut him down. Yeah, no. The more you know. Yeah, my locomotives are really struggling. I might have to just magically generate a new C30. The thing is, if I put too much power on it, when I get out here to the main track, heading towards the power plant, the train is just going to go really fast. Because it won't have as much friction problems. One part's going to be backing the train up to connect to the other ones. Because these aren't powered, these are all dead. So the power comes from here, and you'll actually, it actually animates the train, the cars, pushing back together. I know, right? But I got 4 minutes, and I'm not even gonna get close, because I think it takes I think I timed it takes something like 7 minutes for the train to run around to the power plant at full speed, and we're loaded full train, so we're not gonna run. So you can see we're picking up speed here, because less and less weight has to go around this little thing. So, yeah. I know, cheating, right? So we need to go down this track here. So we need to start slowing down, because too fast. Now, I'm not sure how well this is going to work. In real life, they would not back a train up this far. Or not this long. This long of a train this far. And so I hit stop, and you can see how long it takes the train to stop. because trains are heavy. So each one of these cars has almost 100 tons of coal in it. That's what, 200,000 pounds? Something like that. That's a lot. It's a lot. Alright, so now we're going to try to back up. Hey, it's working. We're at notch 2 in reverse. Let's go. Yeah, it's an inanimate game anyway, so it's not like it's real. Well, it's as real as you can make it. Causes too much strain on the cars. Then I'm going to have to pull out again anyway. There's the key. Alright, cool. Oh, southwest.
My daughter get married.
Okay, we are almost finished with our train. We're going to hook up. We're going to skedaddle on over to the power plant. Unless I do like another stupid derail, because I'm not paying attention to what I'm doing. I need to get a webcam. That's going to be my next big purchase. Nah. Pitching. Alright, we are good. Alright, so the first thing I need to do is make sure that all my switches are lined up. So, free roaming view. In the real world, some guy in a switch house would be doing this for us. Should make it a lot easier. Because I wouldn't have to do the totally unrealistic thing, which is go down the track and make sure all my switches are set. Okay, so that's the direction I want to go. This junction is looking weird. I'll have to delete that because it's no longer needed. And that looks good. I'm just going to pull it straight through to the power plant. And we should be lined up all the way there. So, go back to my consist. And all that work, all the stream has led up to this one moment of moving my train a long distance. Not a long distance. Like, if I wanted to go a long distance, I would go the opposite direction and through all my new stuff, which is what I was planning on doing until I wrecked my train because I'm dumb. I'm not done. I'm a noob. I'm a newbie when it comes to this, so I'm going to start off on notch 2 just till we get out of the coal mine here. I wonder how many I wonder how many coal cars I've got. Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100, 101, 102, 103, 104, 105, 106, 107, 108, 109, 110, 111, 112, 113, 114, 115, 116, 117, 118, 119, 120, 121, 122, 123, 124, 125, 126, 127, 128, 129, 130, 131 Not as many as I thought. Not as many as I thought. I've got 36. 36 rail cars. That, and we're going to see how long that will make the power plant last. It run. That's not going fast enough. Notch 3. Here we go. Listen to the roar. Interior. We're only 3 miles an hour. That's awesome. Yes, I can. I've had public schooling and everything. It's really funny. Our boss was talking about adjectives and nouns today. We're like, what is this guy? That's not the That's the yard, coal yard, and we're close to being on the main track. We can bump it up to about notch 4. Alright, here we go. Time to speed it up a little bit. Maybe. Yeah. Okay, I definitely need to add more scenery like this. I'll get to it. So what I did here, this actually took me about 30 minutes to do. Let's just add a bunch more trees. Let's try that again. So much scenery, so. So, it's really cool is, as you see, as you see as it opens the hole, it's going to fill up. So it's cool. It's not that track is actually going to be like a sidetrack engine. So my yard engine, which is over here, this guy can take all the empties back. But I'm just going to leave the consoles put together. This is what they call one train, which means these cars will stay coupled to each other almost permanently as they're at a coal line. And then a lot of times, the locomotives will also stay coupled to the same train. Now, something different that's happening is, why is it really, really loud? Because I can turn it down. We can fix this. We can fix this. How's that? Is that better? And I can also put my mouth a lot closer to the microphone than I've been doing. So in order for these guys to unload, they have to be, I think, under 5 miles an hour. So I'm going to bump them down just a little bit more, to 2. And you're going to be able to see it unload. So you can see he is empty. He needs coal. He needs 11,000 coal. Now he has 84,800. till empty, 2 minutes. So one train car will run the plant for 2 minutes. So we have 37 train cars, I think. That's what I counted. I don't really remember now. So we have 37 train cars. So that's going to run the plant for a little over an hour. So, in my mind, in the future, once everything's running smoothly, we'll have a train over at the coal mine that brings in diesel fuel. Or we'll have a train periodically brings in diesel fuel. Then we'll have another train loading coal. Then we'll bring the coal around the backside like I originally planned. That means I'm going to have to work on another siding. So it's going to bring it around, and then while it's doing all that, this guy's going to be offloading coal, and then he'll pull it around and go back to the coal plant, pick up more coal. So we'll have a little cycle going. You got to multitask, and you got to pay attention to what you're doing and when. Because if you don't, rather trains will forget switches like I did earlier, and the trains will derail and crash, or the trains will crash into each other. And nobody wants that because that's going to be a mess. Here's another cool thing, or I think it's cool. As the train unloads, this pile of coal gets bigger. So it's storing coal. Just watch as this guy unloads. That pile should get bigger. Did I? Oh, okay. Well, that's the magic of computers. You can add a train. You can add a car to a train if I want to. It's my train. I can do what I want. So I just noticed I've been streaming for a while now. How long? Let me look. Let me look at my handy dandy thingy here. 2 hours and 31 minutes I have been streaming. So I think I generally need to cut it. I generally need to cut it down to about 3 minutes. So I'm gonna work on that. That's really neat because like as they unload, the pile gets bigger. See? There's a screw. We can get the entire train through here. And 20 minutes. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that seems about right. I can get the whole train through here and it will not fill up the coal pile. So I think it will. I really do. So these are the other these are the coal trains at Chesapeake and Ohio. So these coal trains, you can actually see will fill up, and there's like dust and stuff coming out of them. And then you can actually watch them unload, whereas these don't do that. Because let's watch one unload. They have no animations. It just unloads. The other one, these little hoppers on the bottom, these little chutes will actually open up and dump coal. You can actually see it coming out, whereas on these it doesn't. Just watch. Yep, see, it just unloads. These over here look cooler, but they haul a lot less coal. So these hold, as you can see, 90,800 pounds, tons, something like that. Where this has a capacity of 100,000. This is supposed to have 100,000, but it's not. It's 90,000. So these are significantly less because they're smaller. I don't know. We'll try it out. We'll see what happens. I don't know if my allergies just took a dump or is it the run that I took earlier? I don't know. My nose is stuffy. Yeah, especially if you're on a laptop going through Wi-Fi, because you're limited in the amount of bandwidth that you have. Something else you could try to do to maybe speed it up a little bit is turn off the Wi-Fi to your phone. And see if that doesn't free up some of your bandwidth. So all we're doing now is just unloading the train. I can do this on my own another day. Got some other things I need to take care of before I go to bed, like, I don't know, take a shower so I don't smell like butt. And that's, I think, going to do it for tonight. So we'll go ahead and I'll finish unloading some other time. Looks like everybody's going to have a power outage tonight because I didn't finish the train, but that's okay, I'm tired. Yeah. Oh, okay. An Ethernet cable. I would say I would get you one, but I don't think I actually have an extra one. Let me look. I'll see if I have an extra one. So, that's going to end my stream for today. Looks like Kay and Lord Kelrig. Who else do we end up with at the end of the night? I think the same people. Thronzilla. I did not know you joined us, brother. I would have said hi. How you doing? So hopefully you will join me again when I'll continue working on the layout. Some of the different things, suggestions that we've had is a little bit more scenery. So I'm going to try to add some of that in. Like I said, I'm not very good at scenery just yet, so I'm not really willing to embarrass myself on a stream while I try to figure it out. I'll embarrass myself on a stream by wrecking trains, but whatever. So we're going to work on the scenery. We're going to add in some new industry, as you can see. I think I've already shown everybody the industry I had, but we'll just wrap it up. We have our power plant here, which is a conglomeration of different things that make it look like a power plant. We have our, over here, we have our ash that we're going to make potash with. We're going to put a chemical factory here that makes potash, so we can use our covered hoppers a little bit more. We're going to have some more industry in over here. I think this is actually where we're going to have the car plant, is over here, because it's going to an auto factory is going to have its own yard, and the reason for that being is in order to make cars, you got to have chemicals, you got to have steel, you got to have aluminum, you have to have a lot of different types of freight that come in to build the car. And then once the car is built, then we'll have the auto racks. Now, where are we going to take the train? Like I said, this is an interchange, or I'm planning on it being an interchange. So I'm going to try to program the game that when the train runs once around the track, it will actually disappear into a tunnel. And that will be it simulating going over to the Burlington Northern Santa Fe track, or over to the CSX or the Cassie Chase system trains. Okay, so I have to continue working on my intermodal yard over here with our containers. We got some very interesting containers that I get to use for that. And go over here, and like I said, we're going to try to add another coal plant. I'm going to change the woodland scenery over here to match kind of the woodland scenery over here with the logging plants around the coal mine. Hopefully we get a chance to watch this guy cut down trees, which he has actually been doing the whole time, and I didn't get a chance to show you guys because he's already full. He's not going to continue cutting down trees because... Let's go over here. What button am I looking for? There we go. Okay, so we didn't get a chance to see him cut down the trees. I want to switch out these crates over here because they look rather cartoonish from a distance. It looks like, you know, cartoonish. And then the next time I run a train, I think we will leave the coal plant alone for a few episodes. And what we'll do is we'll run some lumber over here to the lumber yard, and then we're going to come over here, and we're going to run the yard over here at the grain silos. As you can see, I got all the grain silos set up. I'm really happy with the setup I have here on this grain silo. I've even got like some extra grain laying around, and I'm going to have some people. I'm actually going to add people to the layout over here cleaning up this mess of spilt grain. But we're going to load these grain cars, and we're going to load them over here. And this is going to be another one of the consist or train, for those of you who don't know. We're going to run the consist over to be probably not BNS, but CSX. So we're going to run grain over to the Eastern Seaboard, and I think the autos are going to go to the West Coast, which means BNSF. So something else I'm going to try to do is work on some of the other smaller industries. I think I'm going to have a small steel mill, maybe a paper mill. We're going to add those things in. We're going to see what happens. The big project, the big thing that I want to do, and it's going to be the second most difficult thing I'm going to do on this layout is an oil refinery. So we might have an oil yard that pumps oil and loads the cars. And then those oil cars are going to run it to a refiner where it's going to refine it to diesel. And diesel and coal is what's going to power our power plants. It's going to power our auto plant. It's going to power, I'm going to have a chemical plant at some point. And it's going to power the chemical plant and plastics and stuff like that. So that's a lot to do on one layout, while at the same time trying to improve some of the scenery, because it is, as you can see, it is very flat and barren. I think Kay said earlier it looked like the plains in Nebraska, so we need to work on that. So the intermodal, excuse me. So a little fun fact, the actual interchange between, there's several interchanges between BNSF and CSX. The main interchange where they usually come together is in Illinois. Let me get the name of that yard. And it's a really big yard. I think it's, what is that, Intermodal St. Louis. Well, that's the Intermodal yard. Excuse me. But it's a big yard. It's in, I want to say Moline, Illinois. Something like that. But that is the main interchange between BNSF and CSX. So there's no actual single line, I think. I'm not sure. I'll have to do a little more research. There's no single line that connects those two railways. They're just already connected. And so, you know, CSX brings in some cars to the yard, drop them off. BNSF takes them up, picks them up, and continues down the line, and vice versa. Something else they do is sometimes they'll just interchange their power supply, depending on what's going on. So, where's that? Galesburg yard? Is it Galesburg? It's a very large yard, and you know, we'll work on that. So anyway, thank you for joining. I've talked enough as it is. If there's something more that you would like to see, please comment. I will probably upload the video to YouTube eventually. I'll give it a couple of days, talk over some things to one of my viewers, and see if that's okay. And so I'll put it out there. It'll be on YouTube, and you know, if you guys have any questions, then just leave a comment down at the bottom of YouTube if you'd like. Anything that you would like to see. If this is something that you want to continue seeing, and if it's not, then I'll go back to a different game like Eve, which I probably will stream a little bit more, but as I do more PvP in Eve, it's kind of hard to stream that because everybody will use it to spy on me and stuff like that, so, and what I'm doing, and just kill me in space and stuff like that. But again, thank you for watching, and you guys have a glorious evening, and stay classy. Bye. You can turn it off now.